Hey guys, today we're turning my PDL drive into a live bait tank. Before we get stuck into this, I just want to quickly shout out Kerry Flowers. This is an idea I've taken from his channel, which I'll put a link to in the description of this video. But yeah, essentially what we're doing today is we've got the PDL drive here, and it's got a big storage compartment underneath. And what we'll do is we'll drill a hole in the underside of the storage compartment and install a bung, and then when we're out on the water we can undo the bung, and that will let the storage compartment fill up with water, and we'll chuck our liveys in there. So what I've got with me today is two different styles of bungs. I've got a traditional screw-in bung, and I've got a smaller expanding bung. So the expanding bung is a 19mm bung, whereas the screw-in bung is a 32mm bung. Now the reason why I've got two different bungs with me is I want to start off by trying this expanding one. The reason for that is I don't want any lip overhanging the hole that we're going to screw into the bottom here. So if I was to install this traditional bung, after installing it, there's going to be a bit of a lip inside the storage compartment here. So what that means is that at the end of the day, when I go to drain out the water, that lip's going to prevent every last drop of water getting out of the storage compartment. Whereas with the expanding bung, once you pull that out, there's going to be a nice clean hole in the bottom with no lip overhanging it, and that will mean that all the water inside the storage compartment here can drain out. Well, hopefully anyway, that's the plan. So I'm going to start by installing the smaller one, but the problem is because it's so much smaller, I'm not actually sure whether it's going to allow for enough water to get in and out quickly enough, whereas the bigger one will definitely allow lots of water to get in and out of the storage compartment quickly. So we'll start with the smaller one, and I'll give that a few test runs, and if that doesn't work, then at least we've got the bigger one which we can resort back to and install that down the track. So today we're going to install this smaller expanding bung, and I'll try that out over the next few trips and see how it goes. If it doesn't work for whatever reason, then I'll give this bigger one a go down the track. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is line up the screw for the screw-in bung and mark that out, and then I'm going to install or drill a hole right in the middle there where this will actually go. But the reason why I'm going to line out the screw-in bung is so that, like I said, if that smaller one doesn't work down the track, at least we know we've made provisions for the bigger bung to go into place. So line this up. There you go, so I put two little dots on here, there and there. That's where the screws would go to screw this in. And so what I'm going to do now is measure the midpoint between these two. So that's about 55mm. So we'll go bang on in between those two, which I think it's 275. About there. And that's where we're going to drill our hole. So the reason why I'm actually installing it right down the bottom here is because when I'm out there, I want to be able to circulate the water in here, and I figured the way I'm going to do that is by raising the PDL compartment out of the water and draining out the water, and then every half an hour or so I'll drain out the water and then fill it up again, and that way that will keep the water inside the compartment here nice and fresh, keep those live baits alive. So that's why I'm putting this bung right down the bottom, because the further it is down the bottom here, when I lift this up out of the water, that water's going to drain right down the bottom there. Obviously though, I can't put it too far down the bottom, otherwise it's going to get in the way of the propeller here. So that, I think, is pretty much as low as I can put it without it getting in the way of the prop. So we'll give that a go and see how it goes. I've realised that my drill isn't actually going to be able to get in there and drill this hole with the prop in the way, and so I'm going to have to take this prop off quickly, which I'll do now. Looks like even with the prop off that we're going to be drilling this in at a bit of an angle, but I think we should be okay. See how it goes anyway. Well, there we go. All sorted. That wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. So we've yeah, obviously got the hole in now, and so what I'm doing is I'm just getting the expanding bung and turn this PDL drive around so you can see from the inside of the PDL compartment there. You can access that hole. So this would be right underneath my feet in the kayak. And so once we're inside there, take our bung, simply chuck it in that hole there. It's gonna just squeeze through out the other side here. And then all I'm doing now is, if you watch here, flip switch, bung expands, and now it's all sealed up. And then when I want to open her up, let in water, fill up this tank, simply from the inside pull this out, water can pour in there. So there we go, job done. Pretty happy with how that's turned out, and I'll give this a crack over the next few months. I think getting into summer now, so we're getting into the peak of live bait season. So yeah, I'll give this a go, see how it goes, and if for whatever reason this hole is too small, and if it's not letting in enough water, then down the track what we'll do is come back, drill that hole out a bit bigger and install this bigger bung. Okay, so I'm out on the water and I've just tucked into a nice sheltered spot. There's a bit of wind today, and we're going to test out the live bait tank today. So here we go, we've got the PDL compartment here, and inside there we can see our bung. So all I'm going to do is flick that switch, and now I've got to pull this bung out. It's going to be in there pretty tight, but we should be able to get it out. And there we go. Wow, that water's really pouring up in there. It's filling up that compartment really quick. There we go, filled up to water level. That didn't take long at all. That only took a couple of seconds, 20 seconds or so. So now if I want to drain it out, lift it out, see the water pouring out underneath there. Inside here, it's draining, that's draining nice and quickly. No dramas. That drained super quick, and now if I want to keep that compartment relatively empty of water, just chuck the bung back in and we're good to go. But I'm going to fill this back up because I'm about to head out and chase some live baits and do a bit of live baiting today. Should be some live baits off this point, so once I get a few of those in the tank, we'll test it out today, see how long they last. And yeah, I'm pretty stoked with how this looks and how it's working. It's going good. Well, that didn't take long at all. Got our first live bait, and I believe that is a tiny kohuru. I thought it was a jack mackerel, but I think it's actually a very small kohuru. So yeah, it is too. Wow, that'll make a great live bait. And first one to go in the tank. And that's actually the perfect size live bait, I think, for this live bait tank. It's got plenty of room to swim around in there. So yeah, that's mint. Nice one. We'll see how long it stays alive in there for now. So I'm just heading in now, and the live bait tank was a success today. Kept the live baits alive for at least 6 hours, and they were still kicking at the end of that, so pretty good result. I only changed the water maybe 2 times, 3 times tops, and yeah, happy with how that's turned out. If you found this video helpful, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more like this, you can subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, thanks for watching the video. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.